know what that is? Discipline. Selfish.
No joke. We're legitimate.
Let's fucking do this. Then do it. Do it 100% because I'm trying to.
We recognize that we are limitless.
You gotta be a champion to become a champion, right? Winning is a habit because we create habits that lead to good execution and success. Welcome back to the Coaches Show, everyone. I'm Coach Mike Bianca of San Diego Dynasty, joined as always by my friend and co-host, Coach Ryan Gray of the Red Legion. This has quickly become one of my favorite shows to do, and I always look forward to it. Obviously, our topic tonight is the NXL World Cup, taking place this week across the street from the Gaylord Palms Resort in beautiful Kissimmee, Florida. But it's the guests we have joining us tonight that I look forward to the most. With us tonight to break down all the upcoming action is Coach Shane Pestana of the Los Angeles Ironmen and Coach Kevin Bredthauer of Tampa Bay Damage. He's going to like that I did that. But wait, there's more. We're joined by a special moderator for tonight's show, a man who goes by many names, some not repeatable on this show, but a man nonetheless, the man, and our friend Rich Telford. We're going to talk about the layout, the brackets, what we think will make, who we think will make Sunday, and with this crew, who knows what else. So this is must-see TV, a can't-miss episode with drama, action, comedy, all rolled into one. So settle in, hit that like button, and let's talk about the biggest event of the season. It's episode 93 of the Coaches Show. Tonight's show and every show is brought to you by Maxed Sportswear. I got to see Charles from Max this past weekend, actually. He was looking sharp in his maxed out gear. Get with Charles of Maxed and see what he can do for you and your team. I think you'll be pleased that you did. And BKI, the best knowledge in paintball, where the pros are the pros and the pros know that the pros goes to BKI. What the hell? Just wait. You can learn from the best at BKI. So sign up today at bkipaintball.com. All right, Ryan, I'm so stoked about this. Do we just hop right into it? Do I have command? Do I have control?
You have command. Yeah, I agree. This is absolutely my favorite show that we do. Adding Rich has been super fun. I'm really excited he's going to do the pre-shows with us now. I think he'll add an element that we haven't had, right? Somebody who's outside the league and doesn't have to like hold anything back, right? And another thing I love about Rich is we don't have to worry usually about him doing that anyway. He's pretty tell it like it is. So yeah, I think it's tonight's going to be a lot of fun. Again, just for those who didn't know, we did cancel the Coaches Clinic at World Cup. Second year in a row, we've tried to do one. It's just getting the timing right. Yeah, thank you. It's just getting the timing right. It hasn't worked out. So apologies. I think there were two people that kind of had reached out. One had made a reservation for attendance to one of our clinics previous in the year. I got your message. I'm so sorry I haven't responded. I've been in Florida for a week already, and it's just been pretty nonstop since we've been here. So I will reach back out to you. Mike and I are working on some things where we may do some Zoom training through the off season, maybe once a month or something like that. We're still working on the details, but we'll keep you guys up to date as we figure out kind of what that's going to look like. So, but we won't try to do one again at World Cup. There's just too much going on. And honestly, for Mike and I, we were really trying to squeeze that into like a moment that was available. Which is not fair to you guys either when you sign up for something like that. Mike and I have been, kind of running ragged, if you will. You're not going to get us at our best anyway. So probably for the best that it didn't work out, right? Just to be honest. So nonetheless, apologies for that, but we'll keep you updated as we find new ways to try to get you guys as much information as we can.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to it too.
Yeah. So you want to start, let's bring the moderator in.
Bam.
Wait, moderator? Does that mean there's going to be like fights going on?
Man, I hope
moderating the
not.
fights?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I agree with Ryan on that one. So
I
No,
can
no
tell you
fight.
if there is, if we're picking teams, I may want Shane on my team just because I think he'll fight more dirty.
Guaranteed.
You know what I mean? Like I know
Guaranteed.
Mike probably knows how
Kevin's
to
a
fight
lover.
more.
Kevin's a lover for
Yeah.
sure.
Rich, Rich is a pretty good fighter.
Nope.
Well, but he's moderating.
Yeah, I'm a
That's-
moderator. As a moderator, I really can't be involved with the fights. That's for you, people.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but from the
You
top.
people. What do you
You
mean by that?
people.
What do you mean
What
by
do you
you?
mean by that? Inappropriate.
Uh-huh.
Really nice. To see
We
you
were
guys.
talking in the green room. Now we
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Now we
Inappropriate.
know.
really nice to see you guys. Can't wait to watch both of your teams play here at Cup this week.
Yeah.
Very
Good
excited.
stuff.
Yeah, so and a lot of exciting things kind of coming into this World Cup. We have an interesting, sort of relegation picture. A lot of really cool things happening at the top of the semi-pro bracket. We have a new European team who's made it into the Champions Group. Like it's a very exciting kind of World Cup, and there's a lot of still some questions out there. We have a pretty tight race at the top, right now in the professional division as well. A lot of good storylines coming in.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. It's one of the more exciting World Cups. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's happened this season. A lot of events had a lot of different things manifesting itself. And you're right. There's just an absolute tremendous amount of stories coming into this World Cup. And man, I can't wait to be a part of it.
Yeah, Joey, we can touch on that if you want. It's kind of weird, the way they're doing the 3-man here. Joey DiPolito says, let's talk about the pro 3-man, please. We can talk about it some if you want, but they're now going to be like 2 brackets, an East and a West. So you're kind of going to have 2 winners, which is weird to me because I feel like you're sort of sucking the prestige out of it, if you will. It's kind of weird. Yeah, kind of weird.
I'm a huge fan. Huge fan.
Yeah, who wins against? Joey also asked, who do we think wins against Armada Dynasty? Dynasty by I don't know. How many
By
points
6.
do you think you can score in a running? Is it 10-minute running clock?
It's a 10-minute running clock.
Yeah, so 10-minute running clock. They can probably score 5-6 points. It'll be 5-6 points to 0 points.
Yeah, that's a great so there. Yeah, 2 winners. I think that it's conference play.
Correct.
So there'll be 2 conferences.
Yeah, let's bring the boys in and talk about the layout. How about that?
Let's do it. Bam and bam. There we go. I love it.
Evening,
Put him in the middle. Put him in the middle.
I separate. Everybody separate. Everybody's cool.
We're
Just
going
be
to
cool.
start fighting soon, so we
Just
need
be
Rich
cool,
to make
guys.
sure he's in the middle
Just
to handle
be
it.
cool.
Yeah, and I will definitely fight Dirty Ryan. There is
Yeah,
no doubt. I'm too
He's
short.
a biter
I got
for
it.
sure.
I'm
I
just
gotta
Brother.
go. Yeah,
I'm just
Like,
gonna grab SK and beat you to death with him.
No. So I want to explain something. Who do you think invented weapons? Someone like me or someone like Shane?
Good
Me.
point.
I
point.
invented the weapons. I'm using them.
Good point.
SK wins. God, you got us again.
Every
But
time.
again, the reason I picked Shane is because I think he would be more like me in the sense that he's not looking to hit you. He's looking for something to hit you with.
Yes, 100%. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Right.
You don't want
And
to
I'm
hit your
definitely
hand.
bringing Rich in. I'll just tell him it's okay because I've seen what
Just
he
tag
can
in.
do.
Yeah, just tag in.
But wait a
I'm
minute,
bringing him in.
moderator.
No,
Moderator.
there's different. It's different rules for Rich and I. There's
That's
different.
right. That's
All
true.
right.
Yeah.
I was trying to buy
Yeah.
Shane a coach this week.
Yeah, Rich from the top rope.
Yeah, Rich from the top rope. There you go.
Let's talk about the layout.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
Shane, let's talk with you first. Like, who did you guys practice? Any kind of like intricacies that you think the listeners and watchers should know about?
That you want to share with
So
us?
we practiced tauntauns and heat in Jacksonville, Florida. Great field. You know what? We had a 3-day grind against each other, and it was healthy. Like, it was interesting. It started off, we're just trying to figure out the layout, and what we could get away with and what we couldn't get away with. And it just seemed as the weekend went on, like almost every layout, you start seeing more and more pocket, because guys we figure out the shots, we figure out that. But then what I'm noticing with this field is who takes the chances and plays to win, and gets creative. This middle so dynamic, but also I I really feel the way they do, and I'm assuming they're setting it up the same way at Cup again, where the pits are behind the field. It's going to be really, really hard to know how many bodies are on the field, how many people are, have been eliminated. Because we had that, just at the practice, and they're coming off to the side, and it's because there's so much big stuff in the middle. It was really hard to connect and know exactly, where everybody was out there, and everyone was kind of saying the same things, like, I don't know where he's at, you know what I mean, until you find him,
Sure.
type of deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of, there's going to be hand grenades waiting for people out there and counter punching, and it's going to be, honestly, I think it's one of the best. I think it's the best layout we've had this year, personally. So
Nice.
Yeah, definitely better than the Texas layout, because we sucked on the Texas layout.
Yeah, not a fan of the Texas layout myself.
We're just going to put that out there. That's the theme of my show. We sucked in Texas.
Cheers, Shane.
Yeah, cheers. There you go, baby.
Yeah, SK, how about you?
We played Arsenal, Infamous, and Wrecking Crew at Legacy this weekend. So I think it was really good. We played on like multiple fields too, which I think is helpful because they're always a little bit different
looks.
Yeah, no, just like everything's always a little bit off, and always by the time you get to the tournament, it's always like something's a little different. So I think that's helpful. Yeah. No, I thought it was really good. I agree. There's a lot of options, and what Shane said was totally right. You have no idea where anyone is, like at all. And he's also right about the pits being behind. On the one, when you're on the one side, you won't see people walk off.
Right.
Yep. So yeah, that's always tricky though at World Cup, but you have an advantage on one side and not so much the other.
It's not really an advantage though, right? Because the other team.
Well, yeah, it's even. It's even. But when you're on the one side, you know better. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, hard to know which side they came off of though, right?
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah. Mike, how about you guys?
Yeah, we had a great weekend in San Antonio. Dynasty scrimmaged, Impact and X Factor. Got some great looks out of those teams. It was a 4-day grind, and unfortunately I had to leave late Sunday night, so I wasn't with the team today, but they're dialing in. Today was more of a drill day, dialing in some stuff. Regarding the layout, I think visual acuity, we've already alluded to it, visual acuity is limited, so aggression can pay off. Players can get lost on both sides. The stack can give you some insight in what you're probably looking for, but again, you have to pick your poison. Almost every play call is going to have a hole if not executed with the right timing. Timing is really important on this field. I think timing is important on this field. Tempo control will rule the day. You'll have fast points. I think we're going to see some slow points, but the teams that can shift well will do well, and the team with the most data first will have the best advantage. I think data and comms are going to win this one.
Yeah, we played Aftershock and NYX. We played ourselves for a couple. We started Wednesday, so we played ourselves a couple of days, and then played those guys Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Basically the same thing you guys are talking about. Really, really difficult to know exactly where a guy went to off the break, unless you have multiple guys on, crosses. One of the things that we definitely figured out is I don't think there is a perfect play on this. If a guy if they, do break out in that cross, there's opportunities. If they break out cross and heads up, there's opportunities. If a guy gets to a corner and he goes inside, there's opportunities. If a guy gets to a corner and goes heads up, there's it's just like there's holes to be attacked kind of all over the place, and just being able to put that together very quickly about where you can create those pathways, I think it's going to be big. One of the things I'm really excited about is you can't win from the back on this layout. You cannot win from the back. You can slow the field down.
You heard it here first, folks.
That's right.
You can slow it down, but you will have to take ground to slow it down. There's a couple places you have to be where you're going to have to take a little risk to get to in order to slow it down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope that's true.
No, it's going to be nasty.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be, I'm really excited to talk about the layout with the teams, right? Because I think there's some players we're going to see that are really going to shine on this layout because of the way they've done this middle and how creative you can get and the amount of movement, not only forward but horizontally you can make to really create chaos up there. And the active middle players are, I mean, they got to be smiling today, right? Understanding what's that.
It's so crucial to have those guys that can go up the middle and be proactive, not just go up there and sit down, lock a lane down, but go up and just constantly find a way to kill a guy or kill two guys and sometimes kill three guys and always be a thorn in their sides. And those guys are worth their weight in gold, man. Especially on a field like this.
Yeah, I think the guys that go up there and get real prickly real fast are going to be very successful.
And it's going to take the pressure off the tapes, right? If you got a guy going up the middle that's shooting a guy or two pretty regularly, you can't keep all your guns outside. You've got to start turning guns inside, and that's going to get those releases on the outside.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's where I think too, like Mike mentioned, tempo shifts. That's where I think those tempo shifts are really going to come into play. Is a team gets stung from the middle of the field and now has to respect it more. It's going to create more opportunities for the edge guys, to be able to create some counters or take a big shot off a rip somewhere. I love the layout. I agree with Shane too. I think this is the best layout we've had all year.
Definitely.
Rich, you want to take over?
Yeah. So what are we doing next?
Well,
It's up to you.
Didn't we text you?
I know what I would like to do. I looked at that, but I'm not following that.
Your show, my friend.
Let's
Let's go.
the fighting start. Let's go.
When you guys get here.
Do we want to talk about the brackets?
I think it was semi-pro first.
Semi-pro?
Is it?
Semi-pro. I honestly, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was running the show. I just knew. I thought I was just hanging out with my friends. You guys putting a lot of pressure on me right now.
Oh,
I
my
like
bad. Well, since Joey talked about it a little bit, we can talk a little bit about the 3-man. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on it.
I can explain that part.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Get it, girl.
I will say something first. The teams that won the events did poorly in the event. The reason that is because they have to play all day.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was after X Factor won, what was that? Cincinnati.
Right.
Joey and I were sitting next to Bart and Tom, and I was like, why don't you make 2 brackets so the team that plays in the morning, the next division, the next day is not screwed over by having to be there for 12 hours and then getting up at 6 a.m. the next day. Also, I was like, hey, at the same time, when you're splitting these brackets, why don't you add semi-pro teams in to see if they're actually ready? The reason semi-pro teams can do good in 3-man is because they have 3 good guys. They may not have 5, but they definitely have 3. So that was our concept. I don't know if it's going to work well or not, but that was the idea.
Excellent.
I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Makes
love the
sense.
2. Yeah, I love the 2 because nobody wants to be there all day.
Yeah.
No.
It's brutal.
You can't be there all day and then take your tournament seriously, right?
Well,
It's
if you
brutal.
had the morning bracket, the in this case Thursday or Friday, and the other ones, you're kind of screwed. Like you really are.
I wish the 3-man was on Sunday.
That's another.
Because if we played, I said this to Tom, and I might have said it on the show. On Saturday at the event, we have more people. The attendance is the largest, right?
I imagine the viewership is too, like online.
Totally.
Yeah, for sure.
That seems to me like the day. That's when the final should be. We should, if we're going to start the tournament a day earlier, let's start playing 5-man a day earlier. Those early first day games, nobody shows up to watch anyway. Like on Friday morning, the stands are empty. They're empty. So let's just play our regular tournament Thursday, Friday, Saturday, be done with it, and then play the 3-man.
I like it.
I do. And
Much better.
Yeah,
I think so.
You guys should be running the league. What the heck? Come on.
Well, so I know what I would like to talk about. It's not on the script. Is it okay if we talk about things that aren't on the script?
Brother, we can talk about anything you want.
It's a free-for-all in
4 teams here that I have a lot of respect for, and I love you guys all. but one of these teams has done really well this season, kind of like as well or better than they were supposed to do. 3 of these teams have struggled this season. Do we know who we are?
Oh, I
Yeah.
know.
So let's let Ryan go first, right? Because you've done as well or better than you guys expected to do so far this season.
Yeah.
How's your season going? Where are you guys at with your season? Like, you know, where you at with your guys? How's your second string developing?
Man, I'm so glad you asked that, because that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, for us, of course, we feel as though we've somewhat underperformed. We feel like we were at the last event. We feel like we underperformed. X Factor straight up beat us. That wasn't like we made a bunch of mistakes and they beat us. They beat us. They had a really good game plan going into the match with us. They executed it very well. They beat us. We feel like that's an underperformance from us, especially as a coaching staff. Losing Sergey, obviously, and then trying to piece someone into that spot has been a challenge, right? And that challenge is that second group. It's getting guys on that second group to a place where we feel confident with 2 or 3 of those guys being not just like a throw in when we're way up points, but being active, productive members of the kind of first squad, if you will. So since I got here in January, when I first saw some of the second guys play, I was really concerned.
Yeah,
I'm just being perfectly honest. Like,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
pretty concerned, right?
I think that's fair.
And then I saw kind of and again, they'd been in the off season. I got to see them in January. They're fresh off the off season. They probably hadn't picked up their paintball gun much. And then I saw them again in, March, of course, and they looked a little bit better. And then, of course, as the season has gone on, this week, Wednesday night, Thursday, first squad against second squad, pretty much the whole time. And the second squad guys looked great. They looked great. Like, they're making the mistakes they're supposed to make with lack of experience, right? They're not making the mistakes with their gun. They're not making the mistakes with their bodies and the way that they're active in the bunkers. They're making mistakes that they're supposed to make because of lack of experience, right? The first squad guys are a little bit better at creating counters with traps individually, right? Where they bait you to play one side of the spot and then they come out the other very quickly, right? And the first balls with those guys is really, really good. So
laser beams.
Yeah, so from kind of 2 different perspectives. One, I feel like we can win we should win every event we play. I feel like we should win every event we
I
play.
think we all agree, and we all agree that you guys have been underperforming this season.
Yeah, so I agree. I think we have underperformed a little bit. The 2 5th place finishes for us that's an underperformance, right?
Yeah,
I think 1 5th place finish. That's underperforming. We feel like we should be in the top 3 every single time. I feel like we should win every tournament we play, right?
I like that attitude.
Yeah. On the other side of the coin, from a coaching perspective, the development of that second group has been amazing. It's been amazing. Like, I believe within, by the time we get into that second, third event next year, we're going to begin to see some of those guys earning real meaningful spins on the first line.
So you've had some of those guys for 2 or 3 seasons, and I haven't seen the kind of improvement that I've seen in the last 6 months. What's the difference in the last 6 months? Is somebody working with them new that hasn't been working with them in the past?
I appreciate that, but yeah, I appreciate that. It's Max. It really is. Like, I do think he and I are a good tandem. He talks, 100% kind of about the physical things, where I'm talking more about the mental things. Right. And that's something that he and I kind of had to figure out at the beginning, like, just with each other, watching his coaching style, trying to find out where can I be the most helpful, and that's mental, right? And helping those guys understand that, hey, the physical things that you're doing with Max, that's awesome. Keep doing that. That muscle memory is when you can get these mental things, that's when that stuff is going to look perfect, because you're going to understand better how to use it and when to use it, right? So we have, and I appreciate that, I talk a lot to them about the mental stuff. Watch more film, break it down, find a player, and then ask lots of questions as you're watching that player. Why did they make this move versus that one? And then call if you want. We can talk about it, which none of them really do that except for one. But nonetheless, yeah, that second group has just gotten much, much better.
Yeah, it shows.
And the 3-man has helped with that.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing I like about the 3-man, but I think that's a good opportunity to get those young guys in on the spins. But yeah, you're right. But I've seen a big difference. Like I've known some of those guys for a couple seasons, and this season they've played better than they've ever played before by leaps and bounds.
I do want to clean up though that too. Like Kuzman's been with the team now for 3 seasons, but he's the only one. Jameson's been with us for a year and a half. Diego's been with us for 2 years.
Yeah,
Eddie,
that's
2
a couple
seasons.
years.
Yeah. And then MJ just came on this season, and Sebastian's been here a year and 2 months.
Big improvements this season that I've seen. So you feel like you're pretty confident going to Cup. And what I like the most about the 4 out of the 4 programs, again, just my opinion, is you guys are building new players for the next generation of your team, right? You're not just playing paintball with the guys that you have and hoping that you do the best you can, but you're developing players for the next generation, for next season, the seasons after that. And
I love that you said that, and because I have a list of guys that I'm looking at all year long. I had a couple of pros on that list. I sent my recommendations to our management group. Like, here's the guys I really, really like. Here's where I think they fit, and they were like, "Yeah, we're not really interested in any of the pro guys. We want these young guys."
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
great opportunity there for young players, man, to go and really absorb a lot of paintball.
Yeah, so there was a social media guy who posted a thing about one of the guys on Shane's team that we were going to talk to him. Yeah, big swing and a miss there. Big swing and a miss.
Appreciate hearing that.
I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
We're not talking to him.
Yeah.
All right. My friend Kevin, same question. How's the season going, buddy? Wait, Ryan, you got anything else you wanna finish up? Anything else there with the team?
I'm just really excited about the layout. It's going to be fun to watch kind of Leo and Kirill up there doing their thing.
I agree. I'm very excited. Kev, you guys obviously have one of the best rosters in the league, if not the best roster, and plenty of payroll, plenty of coaching staff and brain power. But currently, you're in what place?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's 6th, 7th, right around there, right?
Yeah.
Lower than we expected you guys to be, right?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Obviously, you've got some solutions coming into Cup, and obviously you've got some stuff to talk about. Let's go.
I think it's very simple. Like our team added me at the beginning of the year, added Chris, added CJ at the beginning of the year. Brian Smith got hurt. Chad retired. We added Marcel and Mouse. There's one problem. There's one big problem there, and that's continuity. And we have had none of that at all. And I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm saying that's what I think always is a problem.
Yeah, you can have all the tools, but if the tools aren't working together, you still don't.
And it takes time for the tools to work together.
Yeah,
I think that's our biggest problem, and it will be until our continuity stays the same and we improve on those Sunday games. Like you could look up at Ryan's team, who's had 4 of the for me he's up there. Well, actually it's that
there
way.
you go.
And he's had at least 4 of those guys have been together forever. I don't even know how many years, honestly. And
I think they're born together at the same time.
Yeah, in the same room. Exactly. So yeah, they're actually in test tubes and whatever.
I wasn't in
the same lab.
Yes. And so, but my point is that continuity goes such a long way. Like it's so
100%. Amazing
because their communication is better. They can look at someone's body and know what they're gonna do. Like Kirill can look over at Malloy and be like, oh, he's going to go. So that's something that they have a distinct advantage with, but they earned it over years. So that's what I think our problem is. And obviously we could do better too, but that's our biggest issue.
Feel pretty good going to Cup?
Yes, I do. I thought we gained some stuff on the last event as our chemistry is getting slowly, it's building. So it still has some ways to go, but it's building.
Yeah. Are you running 2 lines or 1?
I am not neither.
Perfect. I like that. You got anything else you want to add?
Not really. No.
All right. Shane O'Mac, how we doing, buddy?
I'm fantastic, bud. How are you?
How's the team looking?
We had a good weekend. We had a good weekend this year, though. A lot of adversity we went through this year.
Well,
You know,
like, yeah.
yeah. So it was, and I think as a whole, the team, and it's just, as a team, we were so inconsistent as players, as coaching staff, and then it transfers at the events. We were kind of in the middle of the pack. 2-2, 2-2, just never really could put it over the hump and giving games away, or we're in those situations where we can take the next step and we find a way to fumble the ball and give it away. So it's just inconsistent all year, and a lot of a lot of bonding, because we still the team's still fairly
You got
new
some
together.
really good players.
Yeah, no, we have talent. It's just you got SK was saying, with continuity, it's just that gelling, that bonding with each other, and we've had inconsistent play on individuals, and it hurts across the board for everybody. We just need everybody to kind of get to that next level, and then we see that magic, like you said. Sometimes that we're out at practice, and you're like, okay, there it is. There's a team that could go out and win an event,
right?
And we go on runs
when everything's
like that.
flowing, right?
Yeah, and it's just so that we just gotta, maybe it's just things need to fall into place for us. Maybe a little, we hit rock bottom in Texas. When you go 0-4, there's everybody. You look at everything. You micromanage everything. Winning is the perfect elixir. It fixes everything, right? You win, you're like, I don't care about that. I don't care about. Well, when you lose, you look at everything. As a coaching staff, as players, the players are looking at the coaches are looking at the players, and no one, and it's been healthy. Honestly, for us, we hit rock bottom. We held each other accountable. They hold me accountable, which they should. I hold them accountable, and now we're growing. And I felt this weekend, we really, the team that I think that we hope to be was there this weekend, was together, was tight. And, we can put a hurt on anybody out there this weekend. And,
100%.
so, and I think, it was healthy is the best way to describe it as far as the guys go. They're all in Florida together. I had to fly back home for work, and I talked to them today, and they were all playing video games against each other and just hanging with the boys for a day, taking a day off. So
nice.
It's good. It's good to have that. You know what I mean? They're just hanging out at the house and kind of, talking shop more or less, so, I was confident going into the last event because we practiced damaging it really well, I felt, and we just fell apart. So where we're at this weekend, are we going to be that inconsistent team that just throws points away, or are we going to be the team that we can be a juggernaut and make a run this weekend? And I feel that we could make a run this weekend. So
it's definitely a field that suits your guys' style of play. It's going to be hard for them to lock it down on you.
And honestly though, it's also, my guys don't want to lock it down, where on other fields are like, oh, this is the way to win on this field, we're going to lock it down. And I'm like, yes, but also there's another way to play the field. There always is.
Yeah. And locking it down only works when you're up on points, right?
Yeah. Or you're not in, you don't have that 1 week link that's been inconsistent, and he dies, and now the cards fall.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When it's, it's a 1-1 game and it's late in the game, and you have a guy that's, makes a mistake, well, or a coach makes a mistake and does the wrong play call off the break. You know what I mean? So believe me, I'm just as need to be held accountable.
If you talk shit about any of the coaches on the Ironman, you'll have a problem with me. So
Pax and I, we can handle ourselves, but now with Telford on our side, the three of you are in trouble now.
We're good to go.
This is Fight Club 101.
Man, I hope you kill it at Cup, man. I hope you kill it at Cup.
Yeah. What's that, boss?
I said, I hope you kill it at Cup.
Yeah, you know what? We're excited. The guys are excited. We're we're ready to rip. We're healthy, which is good, and let's go have some fun this weekend. I like this layout. So let's go get bloody.
Mr. Bianca, how is it going coaching the easiest team in paintball to coach?
I was hoping you were going to.
Are you just on cruise control? Do you even show up in practice?
He wasn't there today.
No, like Shane, I had to get back for work. But look, I think Texas was exactly what this crew needed. We started the season off pretty strong for a team that has a whole new coaching staff, lost 3 starters, brought in 2 new players. I think we came together pretty quickly. I think we hit the ground running, and I think we surprised a lot of people. A lot of people have claimed that the Dragon's been dead year after year after year, and SK can attest to this. And the year after year after year, we proved them wrong. And what proves them wrong is because the perception is every adversity, every failure, we'll call Texas a failure, carries with it an opportunity for an equal or better benefit, right? I think you should never look at challenges as a disadvantage. You know, you've got to understand that these experiences make us better. And you can't, what I love about this team, and I've told this to a couple of different people, I remember trying to come up with the words after Texas, and I was saying some things, but what was great about it was how that team looked at me and they said, okay, we had a bad day at the office. We'll just win the next one. And they literally believe that. And it's the mental aptitude right there that's like, we'll just get better and we'll win the next one. And I love that attitude from this team. It's, yeah, sure, it's like herding cats, but I can make some cats vicious. You know,
He's got cause.
Right. You know,
He's got cause.
But it's things like that, right? It's moments like that. Shane, you were just talking about it. It's times of that adversity, that challenge. We really discover who we are and what we're made of. And it was easy to realize that what these guys are made of. And they showed up at this last practice in Sacramento, and we showed up this weekend in San Antonio, and the guys showed me what they were made of. We got in there and we got to work. We held each other accountable. We made some changes. We're shifting some things. We're adapting some things. We're trying some new things. We're pushing the limits. And I think this is a good layout for us. I really do.
I'm going to win?
Say again?
You think you're going to win?
Absolutely, 100%. I
like your style, kid. I like your style. You guys want to talk about the semi-pro teams? The race at the top of the semi-pro bracket?
Can we talk really quick about two of the, I'm so as excited as I am to see Leo and Kirill, just as excited to see Yosh and Blake.
Man, Yosh and Blake have been holding it down in the center of the field. I was wondering, same thing. I was wondering who on damage and who on the Ironman would be going up to get and wrecking house, because I think that's going to be an option.
Well, for us, it'll be Lennon, Tommy, Pat, you know, pretty much the whole kitchen sink will throw up there at you guys.
Right.
Nice.
You know,
For sure.
yeah. But yeah, we were getting dirty up there.
Nice.
I would love to play up there. It looks fun.
Yeah,
I'm just
wanna
short.
throw
I can't
this-
see over the bricks like Tom does, but I can definitely go to their side.
Go around the corner.
I'll throw this comment up here. If these 5 individuals play today, will they be able to beat a semi-pro crew? My money is on Coach Bianca going to the snake off the break.
It would be a layout dependent. We'd have to be able to shoot a lot of people on the break.
We have to shoot people on the break. Yeah.
A race to one.
I'm still pretty quick, but throwing my body around sounds less exciting every day.
Challenge accepted, though. Bring them on.
We should do it, man.
Let's go. Yeah.
Can we play D3?
Yeah, that's
I'm ranked D4 now.
Yeah, me too.
That's awesome.
I can't even imagine diving onto the ground.
Why would you dive?
Sounds terrible.
I did it 3 weekends ago. Ask Aaron Rios from the Jungle Cats.
Unless a bear's chasing me, I'm not running or diving or any of that shit.
Yeah.
Those days are long gone. Can we talk about semi-pro now?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So top 4 semi-pro teams: BR Factory, Collision, Distortion, and the Jesters. And the race at the top is really tight, right?
No, I wouldn't say it's really tight.
Is it locked in? Is it already
Well,
locked in?
with the
close.
with Bear Ridge now rebranded Jungle Cats, if they win their first match, the quarterfinals,
It's done.
It's done.
Yeah. So there's not much.
For them, right?
Yeah.
They earned it.
They moved
I have a
up.
lot of friends on that team, and I'm really
a
proud
lot
of
of good guys on that team for sure.
Wait, you have friends?
I do, believe it or not. I was hoping 4 of them were on this show, but one's obviously missing.
Hey, so we're gonna go through all the pro teams and just 2 seconds on what do you think better or worse this season? Like, should they have done better, or do they do better than they expected?
Man, this guy's bringing the venom right here.
Yeah.
Huh?
Listen, it's not personal, right?
Rich,
like
this is in moderation.
We all have great seasons. We all have not so great seasons. We have we have thises and we have that's, right? And we got to talk about it, right? Because some of the teams did good. Like uprising's kind of up there higher than they should, have normally been, right? So that's a positive. It doesn't have to be a negative. All right, Jesus. Red Legion. Red Legion. All right. Ryan, we're gonna skip you. Mr. Bianca, comments on Red Legion?
Well, I mean, what do you want to say about it?
Keep it brief. Well, did they do better as well as you thought they were going to do this season? They're currently ranked.
I think they've met expectations. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think they've been fantastic.
Yeah. So I think we all agree you're where you need to be. Paintball Fit, second place, right?
Listen, if anyone doesn't respect that program right now, I can't help you. That team has not only a tremendous story, but they've got grit and they've shown it time and time again. So if you're not a PB Fit fan, I don't know who.
Yeah, you're not a human being fan if you're not a Fit fan.
Right.
But what I love about those guys is there are a couple teams that, are in the top 10 or whatever that spend significantly more money and time and energy. Maybe not time or energy, but they put a lot more money into it. And Fit puts the time and the work in, and they kind of equal out that, if you don't have $1 million to spend or you don't have $700,000 to spend, if you can get 7 local guys that can play a ton of paintball together, you can kind of equalize out with those big teams, and I love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but what do you mean by them not spending money? They definitely have.
Yeah, but I mean,
how do they play every weekend and on Wednesdays and Fridays? It's because they're spending money.
Yeah, it's scalable, but they're not paying $60,000 for players, right? They're not paying $40,000 for players.
Yes,
they're not paying $40,000
but they're still spending money.
Right, so it's scalable, right? There's guys that are paying, like there's people like you guys in Impact that are paying a shit ton of money. There's people like Fit that aren't paying as much money, right? There's just all scalable, right? Shana, what do you got for Fit? Anything?
They're legit. And we practiced them twice this year, and they're filthy.
Good team to practice.
Great team, great people, great organization. Just like you said, if you like humans, you like them, right? And if they're just, they're legit, man, and they've earned everything that they've received, and that where they're at right now, honestly, doesn't surprise me. Especially going out and when we practice each other, and you guys know, when you practice a team for a couple of days, you really get to know who all the guys are and who's the jerks and who's the cool dudes. Yeah. And they're just good people, man. And they get down, bro. They get down. They are absolutely legit.
Yeah. You got to love that story, right?
Oh,
Ryan?
yeah.
Best. Yeah. I was going to say it's the best story in paintball. Yeah. If you can't love paintball and not be a Paintball Fit fan right now, you just can't. They're you and Kevin were kind of talking about the monetary stuff. Regardless of whether you're spending that money on players or the way you're training, the reality is, in my mind, it doesn't matter. Both plans can work. Right. And I love that they've kind of shown this homegrown style of,
at least now we have another option though, right? Where before it was
totally.
Just throw as much money as you can at it and get as many good players as you can at it, get as many good coaches as you can, spend as much as you can, and you have the best team. Now you can do that, or you can get a group of guys locally together and really train hard, still spend money, but not as much money.
Yeah, spend $500,000 on one of the best training facilities on planet Earth, right?
Yeah.
And with lights and just have like amazing customer service and create an amazing business that brings people in, and a culture of an attitude of kind of F everybody else. We're going to work really hard, and I love their culture. That's probably in my opinion, we don't talk about that enough, like the Paintball Fit culture. And I
what is the culture? What's the culture?
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm going. Is every time they one of those guys will get on a podcast, they'll kind of talk, about their story, and like they believe every time they play a paintball tournament, they're going to win it. Regardless of whether or not they're, coming into the professional league as rookies, that they didn't care. Like the attitude was still, we're going to win the tournament. Right. And I love that. I love that they've kind of come in and said, like, whatever you think of us, we're still going to win the tournament. And then as a side note, the story of Colt this year, with him being injured, Jacob Seabow coming in and literally playing lights out pretty much every time that kid steps on the field. And now Colt is back. Like, who gets less play time now, right? Is it Cyrus? And then we get this great middle where Cyrus and Trenton and Scott Stewart and these guys who can all play that role really, really well. And then Colt coming out of the back end, like it's a fantastic story going into World Cup. I think if you're a fit fan, this is a great field for them. This is a cool opportunity for them to kind of put a bookend on the 2025 paintball fit story.
They seem to play pretty well at Cup too.
They not bad.
Yeah.
They've won 2 in a row, two in a row.
Yeah. Edmonton Impact, Mike Bianca.
I think they have somewhat underperformed. Obviously, they started out strong the season. I believe they took third at the first event. They won the last event, and they had 2 top 10 finishes in between there. But when you're looking at a roster like that, coaching staff like that, all those elements that make a great paintball team, they have it. And so I expected them to be in the top 4 obviously this season, and they are. Thanks to Dynasty's last performance. But I think, well, of course, also thanks to their performance, Impact's great performances, they've done just really well. I just expected, like, if I was to grade them on a scale like A+ being the best, I would have to say they would probably even admit that it's been a B- this season, right? I think
it's pretty fair.
Yeah. So I think with that,
they're the team that shows you how hard it is to be a top 4 team, right?
Yeah, right.
Totally.
They got all the coaches, all the money, all the players, and still, it's still hard, right? Like, you can have all the right components, you can have they can even be gelling together and playing well. It's the hardest thing to do in the world, man. Is produce a top 4 team, keep them there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what that team does really well, though, is their communication on field is top notch.
Amazing.
100%. Yeah, they set the standard for sure.
They do.
Yeah. Kev, what do you think about Impact? Don't get crazy.
I look at things differently. Any of these like top teams, if you win one event, you had a good year. Like, you really did, because paintball is hard.
Yes.
Like, and there are more than one top team, so it's hard. So if you win one event, you had a good year. Not a great year, but a good year. So they still have one event left. So, I mean, they could do better. They did win the ESPN thing too. That's nice. But
good point.
That counts.
Mm-hmm.
So, I would just say we're not sure, because it looks like they're getting better. Like, they won that ESPN thing and then won.
They're kind of peaking right now, right?
Yeah, they're like heating up. Like,
I love that answer, SK. I think that's a great answer.
I told you smarter than it looks, Mike.
I know.
Shannon, what do you got on Impact?
I think SK nailed it. I think that they're on the rise right now.
They're peaking.
They're making in the beginning of the year they did well, but also you could tell, listening to talking to a couple of the guys, that there was still a little bit of continuity. They brought in new players. They have a lot of huge payroll. That all the big splashes in off season. It was like. It was like when LeBron made the jump, to the Heat. We're going to win 1, we're going to win 2. It's a lot of pressure on those guys. And I think now, as the season progressed, they kind of got past the pressure. And I think they're like, F everybody. We're going to go win every event we're in. And we saw that team at the last event. They were focused, they were driven, and they looked good. And winning an event's rough, and it's hard, and it's an accomplishment. And everyone just, they won 3 that year. It's like, no, dude, that just doesn't happen. It's a tough league. It's tough to win 1 game in this league, let alone win the whole thing.
Was there only 12 teams or so that have ever actually won a tournament before?
Yeah. So it's like,
pretty small number.
Yeah. They're on the rise. They're definitely legit. And they'll be definitely a contender this weekend on this layout. They have the horses to play everywhere on this beast. And it's going to be it's going to be good to scout them, see how they're approaching it, and see what what we can take from them and apply it to our system. So,
Ryan, what you got?
Yeah, I was going to say I totally agree with what Shane and SK both said, but I do think probably they have underperformed based on some of the moves that they made, and I think their expectation was that it would happen more quickly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and kind of mine too, right?
I think you're 100% right. I mean, 3rd place is obviously a really good standing, right? They've had a pretty good season, but I think we have really, really high expectations for them, right?
Yeah, right. And I also agree with SK on, there's one more tournament to play, and really Rainey and one of the additions, and then the other one being in Tyler Harmon, in my opinion, are playing the best paintball they've played all year right now, kind of going into the biggest stage. And both of those guys with a middle like this where Rainey can get lost and Tyler can be a pest. I would say up to now they would probably agree that they've underperformed somewhat, but I do think this is a big event for them, and I think they're going to be a handful.
Awesome. That should be fun to watch. San Antonio X Factor, Mike, and guys, we got 20 teams, so keep that in mind.
Pick it up.
Well, listen, I think X Factor, look, they're one of my favorite teams, but I do think the question is, do we think they've performed or underperformed? And I would say in this instance, they're currently sitting in 4th place.
Yep.
I think they're about, I don't think they started the season off, but if you watch them through the season, they've just gotten better. They've just gotten better. They keep they made Sunday at the first event 10th. They made Sunday the next event 6th. They made Sunday the next event 4th. Then they get 2nd. I mean, come on. You want to talk about moving the needle in the right direction. They're doing everything they need to do. So I would say that in their minds, they've probably underperformed, but they're moving the needle the right way. They're improving just like Impact. They're just getting better as the season goes. And they looked really good this weekend.
SK?
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I think they're right about where they should be.
Yeah. Shaner?
I think they played great this year, actually. I really do. I think that if they won an event, no one would be surprised. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've underperformed, but I think the addition of Silos Cortez has really been the difference maker for them. I think, Cody carrying the majority of the spins on the Dorito side was creating problems, and now they have another go-to guy over there. Obviously, it worked at the last event, but I think they've underperformed. I see X Factor in that roster, and they're top 3 to me.
I think they're kind of exactly where they should be, or within a few places. I think they're a slightly less good team than Impact, right? I think Impact's right there, and they're right there. So I think they're right where they kind of should be. Now, this is an interesting one. Who's next on the list?
I
Dynasty.
have a theory.
Dynasty. Ryan, would you like to talk about Dynasty?
Absolutely. I think Dynasty has overperformed. I think they are kind of right where I thought they would be, to be honest. But early in the season, kind of overperformed. I think we saw some of the challenges at the last event, which, whether it's an anomaly or not, it did kind of, Mike and I had conversations at the beginning of the year, and I was like, brother, if you're better than 5th, in my opinion, you've done a great job.
Yeah.
Fair. Kev?
I think they're right where they're supposed to be.
Yeah. I know you don't know them very well, but you have any opinions?
I do know him well. I've played him 4 times this year, and or 5 technically.
Yeah.
And I think, there's one simple thing for their 15th. Ryan didn't play very much last event, and Ryan's their best guy. Even though I hate saying that out loud.
Yeah, it's hard for you to say that. It's hard for all of us to hear it. Hard for us to hear you say it.
Yes, I agree.
Shana?
Yeah, I think they've had a great year. I think they've been, let that last event, hey, like you
watching Yosh like flame up the field and smash 2 or 3 guys at 43, it makes me smile every freaking time. So happy to watch it.
Yeah.
It makes me smile.
Good. Next team, and this is kind of a surprise, right? The Tauntauns, 6th place. Like that's a pretty good team for a European team, right? I mean, not that they're not a strong team, but we don't usually see a lot of European teams in the top 6, 7. Ryan?
Yeah, I think to be honest, I think they've overperformed kind of where I thought they would be.
For sure.
But Fedorov has been the difference maker. He's been the difference maker on that team. We expect certain things from Axel. We expect certain things from Colombo. You know what I mean? Like for those guys to be successful,
he's kind of stepped up and played above just checking in, right?
Totally. Watching him on Heat and watching him now, he's a completely different player.
I agree with that.
And yeah, he's been the driving factor there. I think they've overperformed. but it's been awesome to watch.
Very cool. Mike?
Yeah, I have to agree. I think Fedorov is the difference maker. That obviously it's a talented roster, but Fedorov, if you watch him and you pay attention to Tauntaun matches, he's quarterbacking.
Mm-hmm.
He's quarterbacking, and I usually it's let him off the leash and let Fedorov go do what he wants to do. Fedorov's turned around and said, "No, we're gonna do this together," and he's really become a teammate. And I think that's really powerful, and that's the difference.
Working. Yeah, it's working. Shane?
Yeah, we practiced this past weekend, and they are playing really good. Really, really good.
I love their style of paintball, that fast, loose.
Yeah, they come at you in waves, you know. And they did start off the year a little rough, and then all of a sudden they just boom, you know, like something clicked, and now you're like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
You know, they're playing really well.
For sure.
Definitely overperformed.
SK?
You know?
I think, like I've said before, this team is the biggest disruptor of all the teams.
Totally.
Because no one would ever guess they would get 2 seconds. And that's why all the other pro teams underperformed. It's because of them.
So it's the French's fault, basically.
Well, and a Russian and an American and a Texan guy. Yes.
That's right. Yeah. It's the United Nations of faults.
Yes.
Mexico.
So Houston Heat. Houston Heat, you know, kind of built to be a top 4 team, right? Right now they're in 7th place. Ryan?
Yeah, underperformed for sure.
Okay. And
that's it.
Okay. Thank you for your insight. Mike?
Well,
no. You're good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. Underperformed because that mix of experience and youth on that team, and that youth is highly intelligent. So,
are you saying that the old people aren't intelligent?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, the youth is as intelligent as those experienced players.
They're both intelligent,
right? So,
what do you mean by those guys?
Those guys, not the guys with beards. So, those guys. No, I think they've underperformed. I know what that team's capable of. I've seen it, and I think they would agree that they've underperformed.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're not happy with the way the season's going. I'm sure they're planning on winning World Cup, bringing it right back. SK, you got anything on Heat?
No, I just think they had a huge roster turnover.
Yeah,
so
same kind of thing you guys are going through, right? Where it's basically a whole new team, right? I agree. Shane?
Yeah, a lot of new bodies, but you know, I think if you asked them, like Bianca said, they would say that they've underperformed, but they're, you know, they can beat anybody in this league
for sure.
You know? Yeah, 100%. You know,
next team on the list is Tampa Bay Damage. Ryan?
Way underperformed.
Okay. Don't hold back. You know,
I'm not. Yeah, and you know, I've not been shy with Joey or SK. I think they've way underperformed. I think but again, whatever the cause, you know, turnover in roster, whatever, you know, you're asking us if teams are underperforming or overperforming. They're underperforming, regardless of the cause. They're underperforming. I mean, especially now. You know, you add Mouse before the last event. I did see a lot more continuity, but even early in the year with the roster, I still feel like Tampa Bay Damage is set up to be a top 4 team. Like the roster is amazing. You know, you've got 3 of the most talented snake players on planet Earth on that team. I mean, it's just a spoil, you know, SK again, like he was on Dynasty. I'm like, oh, you know, poor guy. Right, like which one of these amazing dudes? Yeah,
who do I have to sit? You guys don't know how hard this is for me. I have to sit one of these guys, right?
Right. Yeah, it's like, oh, bless your heart. You know,
you guys don't understand.
But I do think they're as SK mentioned, I do think they're coming together now. They're some of the. It looks like now more of the newer guys are sort of getting more spins than some of the older guys, and I think maybe that's part of the continuity thing. But I'm excited to see what they look like at World Cup, but I think they've underperformed.
Mike?
Underperformed, but I think we've all said this. I mean, when you're given a weapons cachet like that, you expect, you know, assured destruction of the opponent. And, you know, I do think it's just very similar to Dynasty. I think it's a new formula. Right. There's a couple of new flavors introduced in there. We're getting used to it. It's not necessarily new Coke. It's classic Coke, whatever you want, however you want to use the analogy. It still looks good, tastes good. Right. So it's coming. It's going to, once it comes together, once it clicks, it's going to go boom.
Mm-hmm.
Shane?
Yeah.
Shane, you got anything?
Definitely underperformed. with that roster, but I also feel that maybe it's kind of like Impact. It took a little bit for the, like SK said, the continuity, and coming in the cup, they are definitely a contender, especially on this layout with that roster.
Yeah.
100%. Next on the list, in 9th place, Seattle Uprising. Ryan.
Overperformed in the
Yeah,
best
they look
way.
good, right?
Yeah, in the best way, right? And not only do they look great, their culture is amazing. Their
And what do you
coaching,
like about the culture, Ryan? Don't just say the
their
culture. Tell us what you like.
yeah, like their attitude around how they're going to communicate in the pit, like top to bottom, they're structured correctly, and the attitude of the ownership all the way down to the pod
That's where
crew,
it starts,
like
right?
yes, it
Top
like
down.
it's very, yeah. And it's I love the who's got their chant is even about like, playing for each other, who's got your back, I got your back thing.
Fanboy.
Like
Fanboy.
they're just,
We
yeah,
should all be fans.
totally, I am a fan. For sure. I am a fan. I think next to Paintball Fit, the best story in
Next
paintball.
best story. Yeah.
Next best story,
Easy.
right?
If you're out there, if you're a video editor and you're out there getting ready to make a movie about paintball, those are our 2 pitches so far. Mike?
Totally.
I think they actually have a documentary coming out, actually. But anyway, I agree with Ryan. Newfound tenacity about them. And I think they've embraced the work that needs to happen in order to be competitive and even feared, right? So when you have that kind of coming together, that meeting of the minds and understanding, and everyone's rowing in the same direction, and they're doing it rhythmically. I mean, they're doing it together. And with that kind of momentum, yeah, I think they're, how did you put it? Overperformed in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Shane?
They're a family, and they play as a family. They play for each other. They know their system, and they play to the strength of their system that they play. And honestly, Nate Schrader's been playing great this year.
Yeah,
he really has.
It definitely seems like he's the heart of those guys.
Yeah, no, he's they have their system, but he's been their go-to. I mean, obviously, there's other guys who've been playing really well on the team also, but he's really played well this year. That helps. But they are a family, and that's tough to beat sometimes.
SK, what do you got?
I just think a couple years ago, Tyler took that thing over, and then their amount of fuck ups has gone down remarkably.
100%.
And I will credit that to
fuck-ups.
Tyler and Tyler alone, and that's all I have to say.
It seems like it's working, man. Next
I
team
think
on the
you've set it
list.
up.
Yeah, next team on the list is New Orleans Hurricanes.
Kane.
Did I skip somebody?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
This team started out with the worst color jerseys of all time.
That's a fact.
Ever.
And
That's just science.
I lost a goddamn bet because of it. And I really dislike this team in every way. But last event, they played out of their minds. And if they can continue that connectivity, they will be great at this event.
100% good call. Shane?
Yeah, they just another team that's tight. They have the continuity. They believe in each other. They know their system. And they're playing as one.
They always play as a team, right? That's been consistent. They haven't lost that with the new guys and with the coaching change. Yeah. What they did well in the past was play together as a tight 4 or 5 person unit, and it seems like they continue to do that last event where they were all together. Nobody was dying early. Nobody was doing things stupid. Everyone was working together, and it showed. Ryan?
I think they're right where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, middle of the pack.
Yeah,
they're right.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Mike?
Yeah, I agree with Ryan, but I'd actually add a hint of underperformed.
Okay.
Based
on how well we saw him play last event.
Well, here's what happened. Stuart Ridgel finally decided to show up and play some paintball.
About damn time.
When Stuart shows up and starts playing paintball, dynamic things happen, right?
Yep.
Drew Bell's hitting his shots, right? Like you said, the guys are playing together again. They seem discombobulated the last 2 events, but the 2 previous events. But this last event, that's Hurricane Paintball. That's team paintball. They do it together. No egos there. No selfishness. All team. So
next on the list, Baltimore Arsenal. Locking in at number 11. Ryan?
Yeah, I'm going to say they're and I had the same conversation with Chris that I had with Mike Bianca, and I told Chris, hey, if you're better than 11th, you've had a great season. So I think they're right where they should be. They have moments where I'm like, man, they're the best team in paintball, right? And then they have moments where I'm like, it's kind of the I don't even know what to call it, but
they
they're
have
literally
moments
like,
where their individuals excel, right? But they don't excel together as a team, and that's the difference, I think.
I disagree.
No, I mean, that's what I was gonna say. I watch them have moments where I'm like, oh my God, like I watch them and I'm like, they're the best team here. Like their communication, their cohesion, like how they're operating on the field. I'm like,
They got an
man,
all-star
these guys
roster.
are, yeah, like they're so good. And then I watch them play other matches and I'm like, okay, what is happening?
Just not consistent.
I'll tell you what
Yeah.
it is. They're a smart team and they overthink things. That's exactly what it is. They're an academic team. They're a smart team. And then sometimes
too smart for paintball.
They start
I know all about
overanalyze it. And then that's when you get that, what were they thinking? Right? That's really that's what I think it is. Cause you'll see, like you said, Ryan, you're like, they're amazing. And then the next minute you're like, what was that? And what it was is that they overthought it.
Do you remember where they were placed last season? No,
I don't think they were in the top 10.
Not top 10. Okay,
top 10.
Shaner, what do you got on Arsenal?
I think they've been really consistent all year, right where they're at, and we were kind of neck and neck with them all season until the last event. That similar, style, just 2-2 right in the pack, make Sunday. Don't you know what I mean?
Just right on the
and
edge.
I think they're legit. Like Ryan says, they can, when they put it all together, they're nasty. And Steven O'Mara's, he's a beast. When he gets going, watch out.
Yeah, definitely got some talented guys. Kevin?
We played them this weekend, and I think this field is going to go really well for them.
Oh, good.
That's what I think. So overall, though, I think they're right about even
right where they should
be. Like I just looked it up, they were 16th last year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big step for any team to go up 5.
That's for sure. Next on the list is Chicago Aftershock. Had an amazing first season last season. This is their second season. They're at 12th place. Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, perception is that they've underperformed. In my opinion, they're right where they're supposed to be.
Yeah, if you based this year on last year, they've way underperformed based on how well they did last year. But
I disagree.
Closer, really.
They played one good event last year.
Mm-hmm.
One. If you look at the other events, they didn't have
they
good
end up
events
for the season.
I got it.
Am I way off?
Thank you.
At least there's one responsible person here.
Yeah, I mean, I have it. I'm on my iPad.
Yeah,
so I don't have multiple screens. Yeah, again, I think the perception is with the brand, some of the guys they have on that roster. I think LJ Parrish,
8th. Okay,
8th. So,
yeah, I think so. My problem, I guess, being friends with Todd and knowing his mentality, they expect to go out and be a top 4 team and to win. So, I think
if you ask Todd, they've tremendously underperformed. If you ask me, I think they're
kind of where they should be.
Somewhere between 8 and 12, I think, is where they're supposed to be. Just simply because, again, to me, they have, their roster's really, really good, but they seem to be fragmented all the time. It seems like
there's not a lot of cohesion on that group.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of ideas kind of going around, and this player kind of has an idea about the way the layout's going to be played, and so they kind of play it that way. And then lots of
Chiefs, not a lot of Indians.
Yeah. And I know that that's frustrating as hell for Todd because, as you mentioned, he's a winner. Todd's a winner. Like
he definitely built that team and had the intention of going out, winning events, but definitely being a top 4 team.
We played them this weekend. They look great. They really played well. But we've played them before other events when they look great and really play well at practice. And then we get to the event, and I don't know what happens between practice and the event where things don't translate. But they just seem to be in that 8 to 12 spot kind of all the time, right? So that's sort of where you are.
Which, hey, that's way better than the bottom of the pack, right? Mike, shock?
What he said.
Okay. Shane?
I think you'd ask them, they would say they're underperforming.
I agree with that.
It seemed to me from the outside looking in, they had a lot of bodies. So there was a lot of different, like you said, a lot of guys on the roster. So there was a lot of different
Fighting for spots.
But as the years progress, I think they're making the right steps to be, the force like they were last year.
Kevin, what do you think?
Just underperformed.
Just underperformed.
Like,
I agree.
Yeah, but I think it's more of like a culture problem.
Yeah, it seems
There's
like
too
they
many
got
different ideas.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Like,
they got clicks on the team, right? They got clicks on the team. And clicks on working together. Yeah, that's the outside look. I agree.
Yes.
Next team on the list is AC Diesel. AC Diesel, very controversial team. Ryan.
Now, like if we look at the last event after losing all the guys, I would say they overperformed, especially coming in with
They played great last event.
Dude, and not having Mark Baginski for 2 matches or 3 matches, who's one of their best players, if not,
for sure.
in moments, he's their best player, right? Probably Clint Johnson's their best player. But to have Mark Baginski out for 3 matches, and Mark Johnson brings in a couple of guys. The Keck kid is awesome. That Jacob Keck kid
he's a good guy too, like a good human being.
He played with you guys, I think, last year on NYX at World Cup. Great
really
player,
nice guy,
great kid.
So glad he got that opportunity.
Same, right? Like I wish his work schedule worked where he could play more paintball because I think, given
he could be really, really good. I mean, he is really good, but he could be special.
He could be a stud. I think AC now has really I think they figured out their identity a little bit, and they're kind of harnessing that they're sort of the bad boys a little bit. And they're kind of
going with the bad boys. I got it. I like it.
But you know what I mean? Like
spitting on people, pushing refs.
I don't think that's probably the thing they want, but like I think they're kind of harnessed. Yeah, they're kind of harnessing that a little bit. Yeah. And I think, but I do think they're kind of right where they're supposed to be.
Okay. All right. That's 13th. Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, they're bringing a swagger, right? They like
definitely have swagger.
Yeah,
there's no lack of swagger there.
They are not swaggerless. So long story short, I think they are. I think they've embraced this new attitude of, okay, look past us and pay for it, right? I want to see the cards, you're going to pay to see them, and and that's AC Diesel in a nutshell.
Mr. Pestana.
Yeah, they the changes, the guys leaving, mid-season, so always can be hard on them, but it seemed like it brought them closer together. Maybe found their identity more, found that, because they have a lot of talent on that team. So
they're pushed into a corner, right?
Yeah, and
they fought their way out of it. Very respectful.
And I think, like Ryan said, they have that identity of, that's their identity. It's like, fuck everybody else. It's us against the world. And it's a great position to be in at times when everyone buys in. So, I wouldn't say they've underperformed, but I also, if you ask them, they would say that. But I would definitely think they're, under the circumstances, they're probably right where they should be. But they're I think they're on the rise, is what I guess I would say. They're on the right track.
SK?
Yeah, I think they're right where they're supposed to be.
Next team is the LA Ironman, 14th place. Ryan?
Underperformed, for sure. I think Shane's roster is really, really good. I think they're coached well. I think the culture is good. And again, kind of like I talked about with Arsenal, there were a few times throughout the season where I've said it on this show. Like, I mean, Ironman looked like the most disciplined team sometimes at events. And I'm like, man,
points, right? Points where they're
where I'm like,
perfect.
well, and even whole matches, right? Where they put together a whole match where I'm like, wow, that looked like a very disciplined Ironman playing together. A lot of cohesion, like moving together, moving around the field together. And then they have, other moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's not, they were fragmented, right? And I think once they kind of get that sort of figured out, there has been a ton of turnover in the roster in the last few seasons. I think now with kind of the leadership, of Henry Sense and, some of those pieces now with Tom Guest too, and Tom's playing out of his mind a lot of the times. I think there is, Joey Konopinski says Tom Guest is playing amazing. Agreed. I think when those two guys and the 3 to 4 pieces that it takes to put with them, if they can get that sorted out, like, hey, these are the guys, right? These other guys will kind of mix in as it plays out, but like these are the guys, right? I think once they kind of get that figured out, that'll change. But I think the Ironmen have underperformed.
Mike?
Yeah, underperformed, and I think in what my good friends on the screen. So I'm saying this with love. I think once management and captains, Tom Guest, Henry Sense, Shane, and Mike Paxton start rowing in the same direction, watch out.
Same page.
Right? When they're on the same page, woo, right? And I think what you see is sometimes a little discombobulation there, right? A little shake in the wheel occasionally. The Ironmen come out and they also have that swagger and they'll punch you in the nose, but sometimes they don't take the hit so good. And when they take that hit, they start to kind of implode a little bit. And they need to learn how to fight from the ground too, to use a jiu-jitsu thing.
SK?
Yeah, I would say they underperformed, but not. I mean, they had one real bad event. The other ones they're like
Middle of the pack.
a couple points here or there from making Sunday.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Like,
Shane?
Yeah.
Way underperformed in our eyes.
Hey, win World Cup, everybody forgets about the season.
That's right.
Winning's the perfect elixir.
15th place, infamous. Ryan?
Whoa, where do I start? I'm going to go
at
real
the beginning.
fast.
Always start at the beginning.
Way underperformed. I mean, this is a 8th place roster to me. This is an 8.
Why in your, obviously everyone has opinion. In your opinion, why are they underperformed so much with that roster?
I think it's similar to what Mike said about Shane. I don't think all of the guys are going in the same direction at the same time. The last event, they looked so good. They kind of started getting it together and getting everybody going in the same way. I could hear some of their we played them a little bit before the event on Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe. We played them a little bit and I could hear some of their conversations. They were really good. I think they're getting things going in the right direction, but that roster to me, they're a steady second tier team.
Yeah, just with a decent game plan and just giddy up and go, right? Not a lot of support. Like they should be able to go out there and if they just play at their ability, top 10 easy, right?
Yeah, and struggling with identity a little bit. Like, are we going to be an aggressive team or are we going to be a defensive team and not allow the layout to dictate how you're going to attack? Yeah. Like, find out who you are.
Mike?
Yeah, I look, we've all said it.
Yeah.
We've all said it. This is a team that has all the components necessary to be great. They have the talent, they have the experience, they have the athleticism. It's all there, but what's not there is the consistent execution, which is what Ryan was alluding to. Hey, who are we going to be? Right? They seem sharp, and then the next moment they appear, what's the word I used earlier? Discombobulated. Yeah, discombobulated. They'll give a top team a tough match, and then they won't. It's like a different team every event, but I think that's what kind of makes them dangerous, especially heading into Cup.
Shane, what do you think about Infamous?
Yeah, they kind of hit it. It's their identity. It feels from the outside looking in, what is their identity on the field? What's their approach? Sometimes they look amazing and, they're a top 5 team. And the next time you watch them, you're like, wow, they're really not communicating well with each other. They're not a lot of individual play, I guess, would be what hurts them when it comes down to it.
Maybe not playing together enough.
Yeah.
SK?
Just slightly underperformed. I just don't think they're that good.
You think their players are has-beens?
No, it's just like Ryan says, like they're top 8 teams. Well, how many top 8 teams are there? There's got to be like
there's only 8.
I think there can only be 8.
They're like number 8.
Only gonna have 8.
I think they're number 8.
I mean, we're number 8. Damn,
I know you are.
8.
You should be probably somewhere around
higher,
4 or 5.
But we're not.
Yeah.
So, but how many top 8 teams can we have, guys?
8, at least.
Okay,
8.
so we are going to go with 8 on the top.
I think it's
12.
8.
Okay.
Let's go with 12.
Let's go with 12. 8.
Yeah.
So next we have the Royal City Sea Dogs.
I want to go first. This team is super overperformed.
Yes.
Because it is so fucking hard to go from semi-pro to pro. And the way they didn't add anyone. They kept their same guys, which I think is the smart move.
Yeah.
They have been in most of the matches they've been in. They
Scrappy.
made Sunday once. I think they've done awesome for their first year, and they have a sweet logo.
Ryan, tell him why he's wrong.
the jersey. Again.
No, I'm not going to
It's
tell him
tough.
why he's wrong because I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we
If they could
Yeah,
bump up a
I-
couple spots a season, like that's amazing, right? Start off in the 16th, 15th, or whatever, and then
Double
every season
points.
work the way up.
Double points, man.
That's right.
and if they can come out and have a pretty good event next year and not have to start in tier 5, I think
Yeah.
that makes a
Yeah,
huge
tier 5
difference.
is rough.
Yeah, battling out of that 5th tier is brutal throughout the
Brutal.
year.
Shaner,
Yeah, great people. Love watching them play. Love hanging out, talking to them. They're just,
good kids.
and honestly, it's a team you don't mind rooting for. You watch them go out there. They get it. They they're out there. They're grinding together. They're tight. Just they've had in my opinion, for their first year in the pro division, they've had a successful year.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
17th place, ASG Aftermath. Ryan.
Well, underperformed. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're a top 18.
Well, again, we're expanding the top 8, so go ahead with it.
I don't think they're a top 18, but I do think they're probably
they're a top
low
8 or
tier
top
3.
12?
I think they're a low tier 3, tier 4 team.
Okay. They what did they place last year, Kevin? I need you to be more on top of this stuff, please. I need you to anticipate what I'm going to do.
They've got 13th.
13th. Okay, well, Mike, what do you got?
Well, I'd like to talk about the Royal City Sea Dogs since you skipped me on that.
Okay, let's go back to Sea Dogs for Mike, for God's sake.
I love their style of play. I love their attitudes. I love everything about that team. They're exciting to watch. I think you're starting to see the identity form.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of there. It's not fully morphed yet, but that identity's coming and it's fun to watch. And so I think they've done really well and I'm really proud of them. ASG, yeah, underperformed, right? That team plays a lot of paintball.
Yeah, but that team is now. I think they went through a coaching change.
Yes, I think 2 or 3 now.
Yeah, I think that's not the same team that we've like last year. They were kind of a scary team to play against. They had some really good games, good matches. They played really well. Season before that, they played well, but I think this year they're just struggling to find to keep going, keep grinding, and going through coaches and that stuff is tough, man.
Well, and they don't seem as cohesive as they have been in the past. You've got a roster that's been together for a little bit.
Yeah, and they play a lot of paintball.
And they play a lot of paintball together, and sometimes it just doesn't translate.
Yeah, something's not working. Shaner?
Yeah, you guys have hit the nail right on the head. They beat us last event, and after the match, it was like they didn't do anything special to beat us, but they definitely, played the field correctly against us, and we play them again at this event, and and in their eyes, I'm sure they feel they've underperformed.
Yeah. Mike, anything?
Oh, I was just gonna say I think SK's computer's underperforming, but
I think SK's computer is underperforming. We just bored the hell out of him. He's like,
he was
like, I'm done.
Y'all are picking on me.
Yeah,
so, no, yeah, I've already said my piece on Aftermath. I think they're just not good. They haven't found the pieces.
Yeah, and the race at the bottom of the division is pretty close, right?
Yes.
There he is.
69 and 89 points. We have New York Extreme. New York Extreme, Ryan? 18th
Yeah,
place.
unfortunately, I think they're right where they're supposed to be.
Mike?
Yeah. Look, this team was given a second chance.
They picked up Shorty.
They did. That's right. We forgot to talk about that. But this team was given a second chance. And it feels like they've, because they were relegated last year. And it would only be fair to say that they've struggled. They lost starters off the roster, such as CJ Cantor, Jerry Caro, God rest his soul, Pat Kraft, just to name a few. Right now, they've had moments in matches. They just haven't had matches. They've had moments. They haven't had a whole thing together. I think the 14th at the last event certainly helped them. But ultimately, especially with one of the teams we're going to talk about here in a minute is being in their bracket. Ultimately, they determine their
fate.
Yeah.
Shane?
Yeah, they've had a rough year, and They really have, and you talk to them, they're like, they know they've had a rough year, and there's talent on that team. It's just, why I couldn't tell you.
I think that Azevedo kid's gonna be good.
Yeah, so it's like, and you got to root for them. I want them to do well, but it's just you ask them, they know, they would say straight up, we've had a rough year.
SK
Overperformed.
I
thought they were going to be below this.
Thank you.
Somebody had to say it. I thought they were going to be 18th or 19th or 20th.
That last event saved them for sure.
Yeah. I really do. I thought they were going to be one of the last place teams.
All right. 19th place is Leverage, right?
Yeah, I think they've overperformed by 1 spot.
Mike?
I thought they performed pretty well at the last event, but yeah, I think
didn't they beat you?
Yes. That
was only match they won all year.
That was the joke, SK.
Get it?
Work with me here, all right?
Oh, he's working with you all right. He's working with you all right.
Goodness gracious. No, I think they are about where they need to be though.
Shane?
Yeah, they started off really rough. They looked like they, I know they won their spot, but when they got out there, right? And I know they were missing some players, some starters and stuff. They looked like they didn't belong. I feel like the last of right? Yes. I felt like it wasn't that they didn't know what they were doing, but they didn't look like they were at that level. This last event, I feel that they've kind of found their footing a little bit.
That's some good points. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you watched them, you're like, okay, yeah, these guys belong at this level. Now let's see what the next step is for them. So
Ryan, you got anything on Leverage?
Yeah, I said I think they've overperformed by 1 spot.
Sorry.
No. But I do want to add they're getting better. But I don't know if that's really like, are they getting better because they're working a lot harder, or are they getting better just simply because of the grinder of the attrition of the pro bracket? Right? Like, like I don't think you can come into the league and not get better. Right? Like you're gonna get better if you care even a little bit, right? But the reality is, again, like unfortunately they're a bottom team.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have to agree with Joey in the comments here, though, because he makes a point. I was going to talk about this if we had gone through the different. Matter of fact, I still might.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're going to talk. We're definitely going to talk about that in the brackets, because I think that's really important as we discuss that relegation.
With two of the three teams being in the same bracket and leveraging having a certain team in their bracket.
Huge.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Energy Elite, Ryan?
I mean, underperformed by probably 1 or 2 spots.
I think in this. I think they underperformed a lot more than that. I think they're a better team. I mean, I think over the last couple of seasons, they've never been a top team, but they've always been a consistent team. They've always been a 8 to 12 like kind of solid team, and this last season has just been horrific.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they continue to turn their roster over mid-season.
Yes.
They're making changes. They cut their best player for personality problems.
Yes.
And then there's, they have 7 1-point overtime losses in a row, right?
Like, ruined it. Overperformed entertainment-wise by far. Like not even close. Way overperformed.
Okay.
Entertainment-wise, I was rooting for 8 in a row so bad.
And it was close. It was close.
It was close.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because I do think they have some talented guys on that roster. Ownership is really good. They just seem to not be able to perform. And I don't know, again, Joey Konopinski in the chat says, definitely seems like they have some culture problems. It has to be, right? Like if you have
consistently, right? That's always been kind of the problem with that team. It's great
ownership. When you're switching players mid-year and it's not because of like injury or something.
It's not because they suck.
Yeah.
And if you look at the guys that have gone through that program, they've had some really, really good players go through that program that had they been able to build a culture around those players and keep those players, Chris Shear, Jared Lackey, whatever, huge difference, right?
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
All right. So
but I think they've underperformed by 2 spaces.
Yeah. I mean, everybody agrees that they've underperformed Energy Elite.
Yeah.
it's getting kind of long, so let's jump into the brackets. You guys ready for that?
Sure. I think I'm first. So I have bracket A. No, you're first, Rich.
Oh, okay. I have bracket A of the championship bracket, which is Red Legion, Fit, Impact, and Breakout Spa. I think I picked Red Legion and Fit to kind of my two guys that have the best chance of winning the event. So I think they're the two strongest in that bracket. I think Edmonton Impact's the third strongest in that bracket, and I think Spa has absolutely no chance of beating those three teams. I hope they do just for entertainment purposes, but I think it's going to be really, really tough. So Red Legion, I think it's really going to come down to breakout. Like if it can win the breakouts against Red Legion or against in the bracket, I think they have the advantage. But I think Red Legion first, Fit second, Edmonton Impact third, and Spa fourth in that bracket.
Okay.
What do you think?
Just like it's written.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I see it. Anybody got any differences in that bracket?
I think an interesting note on Breakout Spa is their coach in Europe is sitting here.
Yeah, right.
He's right down there.
No chance.
So they don't have him. And again, Breakout Spa is a team that is very well funded. Their culture is really good. They have some fantastic players. I'm sure they're going to add a player or two from Europe.
A tough bracket, right? Like any European team, any non-European team. If you throw Dynasty in that bracket right now, Dynasty is like, hey, this is a tough bracket, right?
Yes.
It's not disrespecting Spa, but that's a Red Legion, Fit, and Impact. If you've got to pick three teams you don't want to play or you don't want your bracket, those are the three teams.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, I would agree.
You could argue damage too, but I mean, Jesus, that's a tough bracket, right?
Yep. Yeah. Brutal.
All right. What do you got for bracket A, Ryan?
Yeah, so bracket A, we have X Factor, Arsenal, Ironman, Aftermath, Lucky 15s. Interesting about this one, Lucky 15s is the only European team coming over that does not have a U.S. pro who plays with them in Europe. They're completely homegrown team, coached homegrown.
Played great last season.
Not great last season. They were pretty good. Pretty good. So interesting note, two of the Lucky 15s actually play with Aftermath, and they're in the same pool. So Greeny, Jim McGowan, both players.
Oh,
yeah. So who played with Aftermath. McGowan actually took over some coaching roles with Aftermath the last few events. Yeah. So
that's rough.
Which makes it really hard on Aftermath, right? Ironman, I like the bracket for the Ironman. If the right Ironman team shows up, they could be really dangerous. SK saying Arsenal looks great. That's really, really exciting, right? And then X Factor, as we have talked about, is on the rise, right? They're getting back into that sort of championship form. Yep, championship form back.
Little swag going on.
Yeah, and I do think on this layout, I think we'll see some of Nico Hyde, as ballistic as that Dorito side can be. It'll be interesting to see kind of who gets the lion's share of the spins on the Dorito side with three now being over there. If, young man was hurt at the last event, which is why he wasn't playing much. Cody, if Cody's back and he's healthy, they're going to have three Dorito players. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah. So see who gets the lion's share of the spins, but or you want me to pick now, or are we going to pick after? If I'm picking out of this one, I'm going to take X Factor Arsenal. Mike, will you write these down?
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay.
Who's got bracket B?
That would be me.
Let's go, Mac.
I feel that this bracket's deep. Every team's legit. Every team can beat you. But Dynasty's an angry dragon right now after the last event. And I know those individuals. I know the coach. We all do very well. And I think Dynasty, I would not want to face Dynasty in the prelims at this event after the last event. They had a long time to stew since Texas.
It's been a long time.
And, when you piss off a good team, you watch out. Damage is legit. We talked about it earlier. We kind of went through all these teams. The one that, Aftershock, Sea Dogs, they can win any game in this bracket. Joy, I'll be honest with you, I don't know much, but I know that this layout.
I know one thing for them just to add. They're bringing Isaac from the Dynamite, so that's one of the great players from another European team. Like,
Yeah.
so
Came and trained with us for a while here in Tampa.
With Joy, you just don't really know what you're going to get. But I think with this layout and their style, I think they could be teams. So it's kind of maybe they're the X factor on who actually moves out of this bracket. They surprise one of these top teams, but you got to go with Dynasty and Damage. They're both.
So we're really swinging for the fences here first, guys.
I
my
should
bracket,
just start picking
first
wild
two,
cards everywhere.
Ryan,
because
first two, Shane, first two.
Yeah.
Bracket C. Who's bracket C?
That's me. I think it's me, right?
Come on, Kev. Take a risk.
Well, that's not in this bracket. No, I will not.
Come on, Kev.
No,
come on.
No.
I have no chance.
Well, to be honest, I really don't know. How do you say this team's name? Papaletto? Is that right?
Papaletto.
Yeah, perfect.
I really don't know any of these people. So, Avery, I do know
Avery's
one guy.
playing, Avery's playing with him.
Yeah, okay, I know one guy on the team. So this is not going to be fun for them. I'm sorry. I don't.
It's not going to be fun
that.
for Avery.
I do not like that they allow this team. I understand the concept of it, but I do not like it because they're completely overclassed.
It's a great
idea. They
idea.
Tried to bring another European team, whichever one it was, so they're not just completely overclassed.
Yeah, I agree.
Good job on these guys for getting here. It's not fun. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hopefully everybody takes it easy on them.
Yeah, I'm literally sorry. If it's going to be bad. Leverage. Yeah, I mean they are improving, and I have liked their matches are getting closer as a whole. So I do like that. Diesel did show a little bit the last event after that really bad 20th, but I don't think they have. They just don't have the team to beat like a Hurricanes or a Tauntauns in this bracket. Tauntauns have shown most of the year, except for that first event, that they're real good. Hurricanes are on the upswing, like we talked about, and I mean, to me, it's pretty obvious on those. I don't have a whole lot else to add on this bracket. I think this one will decide a lot on who's going to get relegated too.
Yep.
Look at the draw.
This one and the next bracket, actually, that will.
Mike's bracket has a little bit to do with it as well.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you got?
Okay. So Heat currently ranked 7th in the series. They look great in Tampa, where they took 5th, losing to Dynasty in the prelims, and then Red Legion in the quarters. They looked even better at the Midwest Open, sending Dynasty home in the quarters and losing to the Tauntauns, who were on fire at that event. They went 2-2 in Atlantic City, taking 13th, just missed the cut in Texas, where they lost a close game to Uprising, which ultimately sealed their fate, giving them the 11th place finish. Uprising, we've already talked about it. Stellar performance at the last event, beating teams Heat, beating PB Fit, taking Impact deep in the semis. It's incredible, right? This is a pro team that's been in the division since 2016, and they've only found themselves in the top 10 once. That was 2018, where they finished 9th for the series. You could argue 2017, but there's only 16 teams at the time. So they have a great coaching staff, the newfound tenacity we talked about, the embraced work ethic. This is a good team. This is a team and I think they're going to be really fun to watch on this layout. We've already talked about Infamous. They're 15th in the series. They have everything they need. What are they going to do? Right. I talked about a flip switch earlier with another team, but if that that switch flips here with Infamous, it could be very dynamic and cool. 1-3 in Tampa, 1-3 in Atlantic City, 1-3 at the Midwest Open. But they turn around and make Sunday on the wild card in Texas. Don't let their performance this season fool you. I think they could be really dangerous on this layout. I do.
Think they're just lulling everybody into a full sense of security.
Yeah, maybe.
Well played, Infamous. You crafty bastard.
Yeah, no one saw it coming. They played the long game. Anyway, so the next two teams in this bracket, we've talked about, have relegation implications. New York Extreme, 18th team. they haven't been able to break it down and bring it together. You know, the first two events, they went back-to-back 19th, I think. Small improvement at this Midwest where they won a match, garnering them a 7th place finish. But then they took 14th in Texas. What's funny about, you know, the 14th in Texas is they still only won one match.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The other games were close, of course. They're moving the needle, like I said earlier. The fate rests with them because here's the thing. They have to finish higher than leverage or energy, one of the two. But they can only influence one of those. They can't control the leverage.
They can only beat one of them.
Right? They can only, and they're playing energy in their bracket. So let's talk about energy. Energy Elite, last place in the series. Like Extreme, the first two events, they didn't win a match, but all their losses were like by 1 point in overtime. And then, as Ryan alluded to, right, that statistic was broken when they decided to part ways with some of their more experienced players. They only scored 3 total points over 4 matches. Then in Texas, they only scored 1 point the entire event.
Soul crushing.
Right.
You're crushing my soul. I don't play for them. I'm not involved, and you're hurting my soul right now.
Well, here's what I'm getting at. Things are looking grim for energy, right? They have to be their absolute best at this event. They're a cornered animal, and like a cornered animal, you're pretty sure what they got to send it, right?
Hope so.
We'll see what happens. But I have to take the cheap way out based off this thing. I have to choose Heat and Uprising.
Yeah, it's hard not to just look at these brackets and be like, yeah, those top 2 teams are for my bracket with Fit, Impact, and Legion. It's tough, right? Any 3 of those teams could win that bracket.
Right.
But with the other 4 brackets, I think you guys are right. I think the top 2 teams have a significant advantage in those brackets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other things that I was supposed to cover that I didn't cover, Ryan, that you'd like to get going or talk about?
And now we have to. Well, so
we all have to
who picks?
pick.
Yeah, who picks first?
Who picks what first?
Yeah, so the pick order. We pick the other 2. So we pick the 8 teams that are going to make it out. Then we pick the winner of the WNXL, which we're adding because we want to make sure we get enough points, and then we'll pick the winner of semi-pro.
Okay.
Weren't we going to pick the seeding for the?
Yeah,
first?
that was.
We were going to pick the seeding for the champions bracket, right?
Yeah.
We can do that too.
Yeah.
That'll give us 3 additional points.
Nice.
I need all
because we're going to lose 2.
Get.
Right, you're going to lose 2 with because there's only 8 picks.
Oh, right. Yes.
No wild cards.
Yeah.
So go, Ryan. What are your picks?
I'm okay.
Wait, is this double points too? Like
it's World Cup. SK.
Everything's double.
Nice
Otherwise,
try.
Hey, your snap benefits are on the way.
Yeah. I get triple points if I get it right. Let's go. I need everything I can get.
So I'm going to take X Factor Arsenal.
Okay.
I'm going to take Tauntaun Canes. And then I'm going to take Heat Infamous.
You missed one bracket, Ryan.
Okay.
No, I already did it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I did it when I
okay.
What did you say for bracket C though, Ryan? Just to be
Tauntaun Canes.
Okay, well, bracket B then.
He missed it.
X Factor Arsenal.
B.
Oh, Nikes.
My bracket.
Yeah, that one's tough. No, it's not. Dynasty damage.
Dang, damn it.
Chalk.
I know. I want to pick Aftershock.
Well, you can, buddy. You can pick them.
You're just going to hurt one of our feelings.
I mean,
I don't think
unfortunately plays well at World Cup.
He's not worried about that.
I know, but those other 2 teams are like Dynasty coming off. No,
Yeah,
I'm going to
they're
stick with
definitely
my picks.
Yeah, that's an easy bracket.
I'm going to stick with my picks.
Okay.
Respect.
All right, Ryan, I got you down as X Factor Arsenal, Dynasty Damage, Tauntaun's Hurricanes, Heat, and Infamous.
Yep. And I'll take the top bracket, Red Legion, Impact, Fit, Breakout Spot.
Legion.
I thought you were
Impact,
just supposed to pick the team that
Fit.
first seed of the champions bracket. That's what you said in your email.
Okay, then it's going to be Red Legion.
Yeah.
That's an easy one. Yeah, thanks.
Shane, you want to pick yours?
Ryan took all the picks I like, so
Well,
now I got to
yeah.
go because I'm
I
so
think we're
far
gonna have a
behind.
lot of
ideas.
I like, you know, but I mean, we're gonna change it. So we're in our bracket. I'm going to X Factor Ironman.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Well, come on,
Arsenal.
you know, come on, you know, Dynasty Damage.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
I got to go Tauntaun Hurricanes,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna go Heat Infamous also.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a tough
And
one.
I gotta
Seattle and
pick-
Infamous, that's tough.
And the champions bracket, I got to go different than Ryan because I'm following suit. I'm gonna take Impact.
Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Smart.
Impact plays good at Cup, man. Those guys have a lot of
Totally.
experience.
They're on the rise, man. They're playing well.
Yeah, they are. SK?
X Factor, Arsenal. Are you good, Mike? Dynasty Damage.
You're gonna kill
Tauntauns,
me.
Canes, Heat, Uprising, and then Fit. Or the
Nice.
champions bracket.
I like that. I like that.
Hang on. So SK, who did you have for bracket C? Tauntaun Hurricane?
He has the top
Yep.
2 in each.
Just chalk all the way.
Chalk. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
fit. So
Fit?
that's not chalk.
I like it. Okay.
Mike, what do you got?
Well, you guys are going to be shocked.
Going outside? You're going to paint outside the lines?
So here we go with the bracket A. I waffled back and forth with Arsenal and Ironman, but I'm based off the layout right now. I mean, it's hard to call. It's 50-50 for me there. So here's what I was going to do real quick.
Well, if it's 50-50, you should just give it to Shane.
Yeah.
I should, shouldn't I?
He
Yeah,
picked
no
us,
shit.
but he did pick us for Texas, and we did horrible. So maybe
Right.
he
I
picked
did
the blue
too.
X on us.
Yeah.
I did
I think
too.
we all did.
We all
I know.
picked.
Yeah,
what
I
the
Maybe
hell?
that's the curse. That was
I
the
felt
curse.
really good about it.
Thanks
too,
for the
because
reminder,
So did
Shane.
I. So did I.
So, all right. So
Sabotage.
I'm going to pick because we've already got 2 Ironmen. I'm going to go ahead and add an Arsenal in there. So X Factor Arsenal, Dynasty Damage, Hurricanes Tauntauns, and then I am going to go Heat Uprising.
Okay.
So, and then for the,
Don't pick breakdowns.
I'm
I
not
love them,
picking
but they're
Spa.
not going to win that bracket.
No, I know.
No, you
know
should.
what?
You should pick them.
Based off the,
Statistics
know
are
why you're
very
saying
like, yeah.
based
I
off
heard they
our
picked up a
practice-
ringer.
based after this
They-
practice, I'm going to pick Impact. I'm going to pick Impact
Okay.
based off that practice. So,
Now he's just trying to stay tied with me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
let's see. Well, we have some other picks. We got some other picks here. We got still
Yeah,
got
we ain't done.
we got
All right,
semi pro.
WNXL winner.
Who's first? Me.
You
Mine's
pick
easy.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
get-
pick first.
Yeah,
It's the San Francisco Sirens.
Sirens.
They're gonna
Love it.
get their first WNXL win at World Cup on the biggest stage. The girls grinded this weekend in NorCal, and they're gonna be ready to rip. They got healthy girls finally back, and they got their starters back, and they're gonna do well this weekend. I know it.
Awesome.
I like it.
SK, you want to go next?
Yeah, the heroines.
Okay.
Ryan.
SK picked heroines. I'm gonna go Fems.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like it. Okay. I was gonna pick heroines, but
You should pick Vibe.
I was
Don't be
gonna
like-
pick.
Don't
I
be
was
like
gonna
me.
pick Vibe. I was gonna pick
Vibe,
Vibe, but Jen
They're
Folk,
really good at World Cup.
yeah, but Jen Folk gave us some insight at that last show.
I saw a picture this weekend of Angela at Paintball Fit sitting next to Hadley.
Boom. You heard it here first, folks.
Because Hadley's the younger girl that played
Yes.
on the
Yes.
team. So she was awesome.
She's a stud.
Yeah.
I really want to go heroines because I know
Let's
those.
go
girls
heroines, you
really
little
well.
baby.
All right.
Jesus.
Little baby.
Little
What do we got next? X Pro X Ball 3-man?
Then it's semi-pro.
No.
Oh, semi-pro.
Semi-pro.
Oof.
I know who I'm picking if we're doing 3-man though.
Semi-pro Ryan.
I get to, you should let SK pick first.
SK
Yeah.
pick
Or
first.
Mike,
Good-
since
good
I got
call.
to pick first.
You know, SK's not on the screen.
He
Shane.
All right,
ran
Mike.
away.
Shane.
Oh well, if I get to
Let
pick
Mike go
first,
first.
yeah, if
Okay.
I get to pick first, you know I'm picking. I'm picking the Jungle Cats.
All right.
The Mighty Jungle Cats.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take LA Collision.
Collision's been coming on.
Man.
They just want another.
Hey, you can't go wrong with Wild Side Distortion or the Jesters. Either one of those teams.
I'll take the Jesters. I like that video they had on the Mounds field where the Jester guy was eating that dude up. Made me happy.
SK?
Well, so you took VR. So why did they turn into the Jungle Cats?
It's a long,
What, did
gnarly
I-
story.
It's a long story.
Oh, I'm glad
Okay.
you asked, SK.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will. Jeez. I guess I'll just take Distortion.
Okay. All right.
Or
There's some anomalies in here.
Talk about that
wait, can I
relegation
change
picture
that?
now.
I
How
want
much
to change
money
that.
do you guys have on the
Yeah.
line?
I want to change that to preferred mob.
Preferred mob? Okay.
Yeah.
P-Mob.
P-Mob in the house.
P-Mob.
Is this like a big pool? Are you guys gambling for a lot of money here? What are we talking?
Thousands.
Millions?
No.
Hundreds? Thousands?
pesos.
Billions?
Whoever wins gets to pick something that all the other refs or all the other coaches do. So like
Unless
Mike
you
picked
do-
that we were going to go to Alabama and do a free clinic at his local field.
Nice.
And then he never, like with the weekend we were supposed to do it, Mike's like, I don't know if you know this about Mike, but he's real soft.
Super soft.
So he got like this little
We call
sniffle
him
in his
butter. We used
nose.
to call him butter. Nice
right?
sniffle.
Yeah.
He got this little sniffle in his nose. Like it wasn't even that big a deal. Like he could have just,
Yeah.
blown his nose and we
Yeah.
I had
His
a
wife calls
104
me.
temperature.
his
Little
wife
headache,
calls.
maybe. Little
I said,
headache.
"Guys, you might not want
Little
to come."
sniffles.
She's like, Ryan, Mike he's so soft. He's got this little
He can't even
sniffle.
hold the phone to talk
and-
to you. He can't even hold the phone to talk to you. I've got to talk to you.
Yeah, so he doesn't
Yeah.
want you guys to come because he's got this little
Pathetic.
sniffle and it's
Dude,
So
I'm surprised he didn't kill him.
If I'm going to
So
be
then-
called soft, it's because I really was upset that I didn't get to see my friends that weekend.
then Rich, he says, well, why don't you guys, and there were like 2 dates he threw out, which were like right in the middle of the break when I'm in Florida for months at a time
Classic Bianca.
training. So yeah, I think he
Yeah.
like saw my schedule
Well
and he's
played.
like, I'm going to
Oh,
pick these
tactically
dates.
sound.
That way we
Well
don't do
played.
this.
Well played.
So we never paid off on it this year.
No. We
All
bought.
right. Are we
we bought
picking
flights,
anybody else?
Ryan.
Are we
I
done
know.
with all the picking?
We
I
are
think
done
we're
with all the
done.
picking, my friend.
All right. Do we have anything else we want to cover?
You talk about the relegation picture.
Yeah. Sadly,
Oh,
we can
so
talk about
is
relegation
the most
picture.
exciting game going to be Extreme versus NRG?
A lot of people are going
Could
to be
it-
watching it for sure.
100%.
Wouldn't it have been cool if this year they enacted, like they've talked about it multiple times, like the bottom 2 teams play each other?
Yeah.
Oh,
This would have been a good year for that.
Yeah, I
For
agree.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bottom 3 teams play each other in
Bottom
the
3 teams,
mini
yeah.
bracket.
It's Shifty,
you take 4 teams. You take the bottom 4 teams out to make up for the European teams coming over.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Shifty, YT. The Philadelphia All-Americans have not been an NXL team in many, many years.
Yeah,
Yeah. So they do play 10-man.
they do.
Yeah.
Can we pick between Extreme and Energy?
Ooh.
Oh, pick the relegated team?
No,
Yeah.
that game.
Oh.
Or which one will get relegated, right?
Or when we get, I mean,
same thing. Yeah.
It's,
yeah, I mean, it comes down to that game, I believe.
it does, I think it does too. I think whoever wins
Yeah.
that game.
I think Leverage
Have
got
we
a
done
gift.
that math?
I
It's
don't
close,
know because
right? It's
that
with
close.
double
It's 89
points
to
is weird,
69. So
Ryan.
it's a 20-point gap in the 2 teams.
So you
Oh,
get
yes.
2.
Double
Well, but
points.
you're
Oh,
not
yes.
going to get 24th.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah, they
you're
pull
not
the
gonna-
European teams out.
Yeah, but you're not going to.
Yeah, you still get
Okay.
20th, I think.
So you
So
get
the
2
20
points.
No, you would get 2 points or you get 14 points. So you're going to get 2 points or 28 points. It is that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
28
Oh,
It
points.
is
it
that game.
is.
28
Wow.
points.
Yeah.
Is it.
Do we know what day that game
No,
is?
no, because
on the
New York
schedule?
Extreme is like
Is New York Extreme's like 60 points ahead of
yeah.
89 to 137.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 48.
Leverage is 89 though. Energy's at 60.
Yeah, we're talking about 69 to 137.
Yeah,
Yeah.
69 to 137. So
Yeah.
if they
It'd be
get
fun.
double, even if they get 14 points,
Yeah, they're good.
Doesn't
They're-
matter.
it doesn't matter.
So Energy's in trouble.
Energy's in
Yes.
trouble,
Energy's in trouble.
especially the way they struggled this season, man.
Well, there could
That's
be
been a
some
heartbreaking
weird
season.
stuff going on too. Where
Totally.
yeah. What?
I said totally.
Yeah, like it's like
Yeah.
like just by margins and stuff. It's not about brackets only.
Yeah,
So-
but it could get.
You could get 13th or 14th, if you win one. I don't know. It could be weird.
Yeah. So
And
Anything else
Jen
we
has
can
tell
to
me
say that
who-
only one
Ryan,
team
Mike?
gets relegated.
Tell me who in that bracket NRG is going to beat.
right.
I don't know.
I'm just saying, man.
Extreme.
They could be.
Okay.
They could be.
They got to beat one more.
They could be
Well,
Uprising.
yeah, but if their
Uprising
margins
came and just
good,
had the
they
worst
could
term of their
be
life.
winning the one team, and then they go high in the whatever number 4 is.
Well,
So that would be-
unfortunately, the tempo
It'll be
in
like
which NRG
14th or
plays.
something.
Yeah, but the NRG plays that silly, slow tempo. They'll never be able to put any gap
Yeah.
in point margin.
They're not gonna build a margin for sure.
No.
Not unless
I'm
they
trying to
change
be
the style of play.
optimistic here, Ryan. That's
Is
all.
Kakuza
Yeah.
back?
If
Yeah, he
he's
is.
right.
you're
But
saying
yeah,
there's a
he's still-
chance,
I'm
There
saying
is a
there's
chance.
very little chance.
that's what I'm
There's
saying.
a chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
That's
rough.
too bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hope.
I thought we had
if-
drama
if-
on
I
that
hope
game.
if Energy doesn't make it, that they stay together as a team because I like the ownership.
Yeah. good
Yeah,
people.
Same.
agreed.
Yeah.
Same.
Agreed. Yeah.
It'd be sad to see
Yeah.
him go.
Gentlemen,
Yeah.
thank you for
Thank you,
joining
guys.
us tonight. Yeah, thank you guys for coming on. This was a lot of fun. Rich, so happy you're here. We
I would
definitely-
like to tell you that I'll be more prepared next time, but I'd probably be lying.
Yeah.
No, it's just part of the deal.
This is.
I'll
this
give
is
you
fun.
5 stars, Rich. Don't worry about it.
Thanks,
I-
man. I appreciate
Same.
it. I can.
I think
take
that's
all
why
that.
people tune in, Rich, to see you.
Yeah. We miss you.
Well,
right?
hey,
We don't get to see
everybody,
you enough.
please have a plastic cup. I will be at home watching and cheering for all of you guys, man. Big fans of all you guys.
Yeah,
We
and
miss
then
you,
next
Rich.
Thursday we'll do our post show with Rich Telford, where we will talk about all the things that occurred and who won this. All the picks. Mike and I are tied, so one of us is going to be able to do something fun for our local community or whatever we decide to do. I might just say let's go shooting.
Wait,
somewhere
how
or
far
something.
behind am
Go
I?
camping.
You're
Sorry,
only
SJ.
like 1 or 2 points.
Oh, well, I could win too.
You could easily
could.
win.
Shane could get double
Yeah, I
points.
think a California guy should definitely win this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
Yeah,
no
no,
chance.
I'm looking at-
I'm
I think
horrible, bro. I have
I think
no chance.
Shane he didn't alter his picks enough from Mike or I to
Right.
like
Yeah.
that's what I was writing
He
down. over
wasn't
here.
strategery. It wasn't in the strategic.
He would have had to alter his picks by 6,
Yeah.
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 I needed to punt on all.
which would be taking
Logic.
a lot of risks.
a lot
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
Can I redo my picks now?
Yeah.
I think it'd be
you
fine.
want.
But we're not going to do that right now.
No.
Yeah. No, right
I'll
now
do
I'm going to
it
go to bed.
after
Yeah.
Friday. I get it.
Yeah,
I get
okay.
it. Yeah.
Just so you guys
Good
know,
idea.
I am literally on like my 9th caffeine drink. I'm dying.
That's not good.
Yeah.
No one feels sorry for you.
But I have no. But what I'm telling you is, you guys have made this so worth it. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, you guys are fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Safe travel,
All right.
boys.
Thank all
Hey,
of you guys
just
for
massive
joining us
club, guys.
tonight. Thank all of you guys for joining us in the chat here on the Major League Paintball YouTube channels for episode 93 of the Coaches Show. We'll see you guys next week. If you see one of us wandering around, feel free to walk up, say hello, talk about the show if you
Especially
want.
Rich.
If I have my hood up, please don't stop me. That means I'm going where I'm going. If I don't have my hood up, let's wrap.
Just stop him either way. That's ridiculous. You
Please
guys like
don't.
my code. This is my code. Don't talk to me. I have my hood up.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
I put my hood
Yeah,
up. I
it's
look down.
ridiculous.
I just try to.
You're approachable.
just-
You're too approachable
Yeah.
for that. Stop it.
I try to. Be
I love you
when
guys.
I'm
Kick
ready
ass and cup.
to-
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you to Major League Paintball, Major League Paintball Plus, Kevin Soren, Kevin Fillers, Tom Cole, Alex Sorensen, and Darren Cessna. For Mike Bianca, SK, Shane Pestana, and the guy who just left, Rich Telford.
He gone.
Be
He gone.
Be responsible.
He gone.
He gone.